Nick here with more board game content, and today I'm gonna be presenting to you guys my top 5 picks for two-player board games. So for this video, out of the 5 games, I decided to pick 3 games that are more casual, so you can play with anyone from your family, and then I got 2 picks for more hardcore board game players, okay? And if you play those first 3 games and like you feel good and you want to try something more like harder or with more depth, then you can go for those 2 games. Alright, so let's start. On my channel you can find video game and board game unboxing and reviews, as well as board game how to play videos. So if you're new to my channel, consider subscribing because I have some really cool projects coming up next. Alright, so we're gonna start with my first pick, which is Patchwork. This is an excellent pick for 2 players. So in this game, you are taking pieces of cloth and you have to make a beautiful kilt with those pieces of cloth. Your opponent has a board, you have a board, and you're both doing that. And in order to put those pieces of cloth, you have to buy them with buttons. And what's really cool about the game is that it has a feeling of Tetris. Like if you played the video game Tetris, you have to kind of like mix and match those cloth pieces which have different shapes. And the game takes around half an hour. It's really fun to play and you can play with anyone in your family. And you can play many times and it's not going to be boring. You're going to see different strategies emerging and you're going to love it. And if you want to know more about the game, I have done a how to play video on Patchwork, which you can just click on the link above and you can check it out. Alright, so my second pick goes to Quarto. This is a very simple game for 2 players. You have 16 pieces with 4 different attributes. So you have pieces with different color, different shape, some are hollow, some are not. And essentially you have to form a line of 4 pieces that match one of those attributes. So this game, like, you have so many outcomes out of it. It's really fun, and the most funny part is that you don't choose which piece you're gonna play. It's your opponent that chooses for you. So often you are giving the piece to your opponent and then you just see that you made a mistake, like, oh, I made him win the game, you know? So it's really fun. It's a really fun game to play. The matches take around 50 minutes. It comes with a cloth bag, so you can just bring it anywhere. You don't need to actually bring the box. And the rules are very simple. I have also done how to play video on this game. And again, you can click on the link above to access and see a little bit more of how the game works. Now for my last casual game pick. So for this one, I chose Azul Summer Pavilion. There are different versions of Azul. This one is not the base one. It's Summer Pavilion because I think, and this game is not you can play between 2 to 4 players, but I think it's one of the few games that ranges from 2 to 4 players that you can play in 2 players, and it's really fun. So in this game, you have to build the Summer Pavilion for the Portuguese royalty. So you have the Portuguese tiles and you are essentially taking those tiles and placing them on your board and making some like nice patterns with them. The game looks really beautiful as you are building those tiles. And the game is really easy to play. There is a lot of outcomes. I specifically chose this version because this version I think you can have more strategies. This game takes around 30 to 45 minutes. I have also done a how to play video on this game, so if you want to check it out, just click on the link above. Alright, so we're gonna go now into my 2 hardcore 2-player games. And I'm gonna start with a bang. So my first pick is Star Wars. Alright, so my first pick is gonna be Star Wars Rebellion. This game is like amazing. I remember the first time I played it, I was like, oh, it's a Star Wars board game, it's not gonna be that fun. And then I tried it out and man, I had a blast. Like, you play either as the Empire or the Rebel Alliance, and the game is really asymmetrical in terms of the actions that you do, right? So the Empire is trying to find the Rebel base. So you have like a huge army on your side, you're really powerful, but you don't know where the base is and you have all the systems to explore. While if you play as the rebels, you don't have many ships, like your units are not as strong as the empires, but you have a base that it's hidden somewhere, and you can actually choose where you want to hide. And then it's kind of a cat and mouse game where you're trying to keep your base hidden or transfer your base to another planet before the empire finds out where it is. So the empire wins if they find the rebel base and they destroy it, and the rebels win by kind of like stalling the empire from finding the base, and also by performing like sabotage missions and things like that. It's a really fun game, and every time I play something different happens. There's a lot of anecdotes that come out of this game, and sometimes some situations like close to the movie, so it's really fun. I really recommend. It's a little bit expensive, but it's a very nice pick. And finally, let's have a look at my last pick for two-player board games. And I'm gonna go with Twilight Struggle. On this game, you play either as the Soviet Union or the United States, and it's during the Cold War. So essentially, you are fighting the Cold War, and you're trying to gain influence in the world. This is not a Risk type of game where you are defeating the troops of your enemies. You're just acquiring influence and using your influence to remove influence from your opponent on each one of the countries in the world, and then which are called battlegrounds, and then you score on each one of the battlegrounds, like the continents. And it's a game that takes a lot of time. Like, you're gonna be playing this for like 5 hours straight, but it's so good. Like, time flies when you're playing this game, and it really recreates the Cold War. You see all the historical events, they are all here, and you can also like build your space projects. So you have the Soviets building the satellites, and then the Americans coming after and building spaceships and so on. It's pretty cool. So really, I really recommend this game. But this one, I think from all the ones I showed, it's the most complex one. So make sure you are prepared for it. But you're gonna have a blast. It's really, really fun. So I hope with these 5 games I have given you enough options that are interesting and fun that you can try. And if you guys have any other questions about other types of games that you would like me to talk about or review, feel free to leave some comments below, and I will be answering the comments and then maybe doing some videos about some of the suggestions you guys have. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.